What's up guys and welcome to FPL Today. I'm the man in the know, JNO, and welcome to Manchester United's summer transfer targets video for 2019. In this video we will be looking at the players that have moved out of Manchester United, the players that have moved in, the rumoured ones to leave, and also the players they've been linked with to bring in for the 2019-20 season. And the way we will approach this video is we will go over all the rumours, well I say all the rumours, that Man United have been linked with and figure out which ones we think are most likely to happen. Now this is the video I've probably been dreading a little bit because there are so many players linked with Manchester United and so many players linked to be leaving that it was a tall order to kind of narrow this all down, because there was no way I could talk about every single player that Man United have been linked with. So if there are names missing, do leave in the comments down below if you think it's a name I should have included, and let's get on with the video. So we start off with the players that have left, and Ander Herrera has left on a free transfer, not signing a new contract with Manchester United. This is one where I think a lot of the fans wanted him to sign a new contract because he was a very hard-working player, and I think sometimes some of the other players are seen to be not that hard-working. So Ander Herrera was one that I think the fans wanted to keep, but Ander Herrera has decided to leave. There's been rumours of him going to PSG. I'm not sure if he signed a contract or not. I heard that he had, and then I tried to look for the details of it and couldn't find it. So it's potential that he's going PSG. Could potentially go back to Spain as well, but Ander Herrera is leaving the club. But coming in is Daniel James, and yes, I called him Matt James in the video. I forgot which one. Daniel James has joined Man United from Swansea, and he's coming in with 32 appearances in the Championship, 4 goals and 7 assists with a 6.95 average rating. A typical winger that could be utilised at Manchester United, and if he can link up with some of the good players there, if they find their form, Daniel James could be a really interesting pickup for the Red Devils. We then get on to rumoured to leave, and we have quite a few players rumoured to leave actually, and we'll kind of try and go through them as quickly as possible with a little bit of an explanation. David De Gea has always had the potential to leave, with a lot of big clubs being interested in him and him also wanting more money, being one of the best performers at the club, although he didn't have the best 2018-19 season. PSG are apparently very interested in David De Gea's services at the moment, but also Real Madrid have tried to buy him before, so there are plenty of suitors out there, and David De Gea, at the time of recording this, hasn't signed a new contract with Manchester United. Speaking of a player that other clubs are interested in, Paul Pogba is very interesting to both Real Madrid and Juventus, and it looks like Paul Pogba wants to leave, but Manchester United want to keep him. Also, the transfer of Paul Pogba will affect other clubs as well, because Real Madrid are interested in a lot of players, but if they get Paul Pogba, you'd think their interest would drop. Romelu Lukaku is also being touted by Inter Milan and Napoli, both interested in him. It looks like Man United are likely to let Romelu Lukaku go this year. He hasn't really performed at Manchester United how everyone would have hoped he would have, and Inter Milan seem the favourites to secure his signature. Matteo Darmian has also been linked with Valencia, Alexis Sanchez linked with Juventus, and it looks like they want to get Alexis Sanchez's wages off of their books. Marcus Rashford is currently going through contract negotiations. Man United definitely want to keep him, but Barcelona are sniffing around. That rumour was back in May, but in my opinion, Marcus Rashford is probably very likely to stay at Manchester United, at least for the foreseeable future. Marcus Rojo seems to be a player that Manchester United want to let go of, but there are no clubs linked with him currently. Juan Mata, I'm pretty sure at the time of recording this, has just signed a new contract, so he will be staying, although he was in this list because he was going through contract negotiations at the time I did all the research. And Antonio Valencia, it looks like he may not sign a new contract, so could be available for some Premier League clubs to come in for a very experienced Premiership player. So before we get into the actual players they're looking at, areas to strengthen. Who knows? It all depends on who leaves and what the plan is for the club in total. Daniel James has come in. I'd say goalkeeper-wise, if they can keep De Gea, they're sorted there. Defence probably needs some work. Midfield, again, probably needs some work with the likes of Ander Herrera leaving. And up front, if they do sell Romelu Lukaku, they need some work there. So right now, it's almost like every position could be somewhere where Manchester United sign a player. We're going to start off with goalkeepers, and to be honest, they've been linked with a lot of goalkeepers, but I've narrowed it down to 4. I think if they are going to go for a goalkeeper, they're most likely going to go for a big one. And Hugo Lloris is touted as a replacement for David De Gea should David De Gea leave. 33 appearances with a 6.96 average rating. The only issue there, of course, is Spurs are very unlikely to want to sell to a rival club, especially now that Spurs are getting top 4. That rumour was back on the 12th of June. Jan Oblak was also a rumour around the 12th of June this month, Atletico Madrid, 37 appearances, 6.90 average rating. He seems to be interested in leaving Atletico Madrid now, so that would be a good signing for Manchester United. Could they get him a very experienced goalkeeper with Champions League experience as well? That seems a little bit more likely to me than Hugo Lloris. Also, Jasper Cillessen was very angry that Barcelona wouldn't let him talk to Manchester United. That's the rumour that was going around. So Barcelona, 3 appearances, 6.36 average rating. He's not being used at Barcelona, so potentially Man United could come in and get him. Then Mike Magnan, probably said that wrong, from Lille, 38 appearances, 6.79 average rating. Had a very good season. He's not the most well-known keeper, but he has had a good season in the Ligue 1. And Manchester United were rumoured to be interested in him around the 5th of June this month. For me, the most likely one out of those ones is probably anyone but Hugo Lloris. I really think Hugo Lloris is not going to be sold to Manchester United by Tottenham Hotspurs if they can help it. Then we move on to defence, and Aaron Wan-Bissaka is third on the list, but when I was doing the research for this, it looked like the likelihood of a deal happening between Manchester United and Crystal Palace was very slim. However, latest is that Manchester United have made a £55 million offer for Aaron Wan-Bissaka, and it has been accepted by Crystal Palace. So it's now in the contract negotiation stages. So I think the likelihood of Aaron Wan-Bissaka going to Man United now is very likely. Last season he had 35 appearances with 3 assists and a 7.27 average rating. That was back on the 18th. And I think he would be a great fit at Man United, a young, hungry player that also was performing very well in the Premier League already for Crystal Palace. If they do not get Wan-Bissaka, there were plenty of right-backs they were looking at as an alternative. One was Max Aarons, who they were definitely interested in at one point, from Norwich, the newly promoted side. 41 appearances, 2 goals, 6 assists, and a 6.88 average rating in the Championship. They were also looking at Hysaj from Napoli, 27 appearances, 2 assists, 6.72 average rating, and Denzel Dumfries from PSV, 34 appearances, 4 goals, 6 assists, 7.41 average rating. All of them Manchester United have been rumoured to be interested in since the 17th of June. So there's still the potential for maybe another one to be signed for rotation purposes, but it looks like Wan-Bissaka is the most likely to go to Manchester United now. Then they're also looking at centre-backs, and the 4 players they're looking at are Issa Diop, Harry Maguire, Toby Alderweireld, and Koulibaly. Now, to me, Koulibaly was the one they wanted the most, and they were going after him first. It looks like they were priced out of that move. For Napoli last year, 35 appearances, 2 goals, 2 assists, and a 7.06 average rating. Harry Maguire seemed to be their next option, but again, it looks like they may lose the race for Harry Maguire to Manchester City, who seem to have taken a step forward in their pursuit of Harry Maguire. Last season, 31 appearances, 3 goals, 7.01 average rating. So that leaves Toby Alderweireld. Again, I'm not sure Tottenham are going to want to sell him to Manchester United, although I think that potentially is more likely because Alderweireld has seemingly wanted to leave since last year. And then Issa Diop for West Ham. Apparently he's happy at West Ham. 33 appearances, 1 goal, 6.89 average rating. But who knows if his head could be turned, and West Ham's head could be turned if a big enough money offer comes in. For me, as far as those defenders, I could almost potentially see him not getting any of them, which would be disastrous for Man United because, again, last season they wanted to get a centre-back in and they seemed to fail to do so. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're linked with more centre-backs as the summer transfer window goes on. We then look at midfielders, and a lot of these are central midfielders that they seem to be focused on. And to be honest, so far I wouldn't say any of these talks have proceeded as far as Manchester United probably would have hoped. There were times when Bruno Fernandes seemed to be very, very likely to go Manchester United, and it looked like they had stepped in front of all the other clubs in the pursuit of him. Ivan Rakitic has been someone they've been interested in for a while now. I've been hearing rumours about him for a prolonged period of time. And both of those are very good, high-quality players. Bruno Fernandes, 33 appearances, 20 goals, 13 assists, with a 7.83 average rating for Sporting Lisbon. And even Rakitic at Barcelona, 34 appearances, 3 goals, 5 assists, 7.33 average rate. So if they could get either of them, that would be great for them. They've also been rumoured to be linked with Christian Eriksen, but it looks like so are Real Madrid. And I personally feel like, again, if they're going to sell Christian Eriksen, they're likely going to sell him to a team abroad rather than one of their rivals in the Premier League. Eriksen, 35 appearances, 8 goals, 12 assists last season. I just don't see him going to Manchester United. You've also got him interested in Yuri Tillemans. Lots of clubs are interested in Yuri Tillemans though. 13 appearances, 3 goals, 4 assists, 7.14 average rating at Leicester City. Although it says Monaco there, he was on loan. A lot of clubs wanting him. They've also been linked with Donny van der Beek, which a lot of clubs have been. From Ajax, 34 appearances, 9 goals, 10 assists and a 7.23 average rating. But two interesting ones are two youngsters, Declan Rice from West Ham and Sean Longstaff from Newcastle. Again, this seems to be potentially the way Man United are going moving forward, looking at younger players. However, Declan Rice has recently declared that he's not in any rush to make a move just yet. 34 appearances and 2 goals for West Ham. Potentially, he's been advised that staying at West Ham for another season or two would be best for his progression. Same with Sean Longstaff. Again, he might need to stay at Newcastle just for his progression. But with so much changing at Newcastle potentially, maybe Man United can come in and get in Sean Longstaff. 9 appearances, 1 goal and a 6.86 average rating for Newcastle. But you can kind of see a juxtaposition here of young players that Manchester United are interested in, that are hungry, and more of the top quality kind of players that potentially they've signed recently and haven't actually come in and performed how Manchester United would have wanted them to. For me, the ones there that are most likely to go, I think even Rakitic is likely. Manchester United have been very, very interested in him, and I haven't seen too many other clubs interested in him. Bruno Fernandes looked likely at one point, so I wouldn't be surprised if that actually came through. But other than that, I'm not too sure that they'll be getting many of their targets in this list. And then forwards, and I was all ready to record this video, and then suddenly Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang got linked with Manchester United, which was a surprise to me. So he is the most recent striker linked with Manchester United. Of course, playing for Arsenal last year, had a great season in the Premier League, 36 appearances, 22 goals, 5 assists, and a 7.10 average rating. Now, I would say, like Spurs, Arsenal are unlikely to want to sell to Manchester United. However, Arsenal have done it before, so I can't really ignore that as a fact that they've sold the likes of Van Persie and Sanchez to Man United before. Would it be a good fit at Man United? I probably think it would be. I think Aubameyang is the type of player that just loves to score goals. And if they can get him, that would be a great signing for Manchester United. I think Arsenal fans would be very, very annoyed though. They've also tried to hijack the move of Antoine Griezmann from Atletico Madrid, 37 appearances, 15 goals, 9 assists, 7.29 average rating. There's kind of a saga going on there. Antoine Griezmann has said goodbye to Atletico Madrid. Barcelona are saying they're not interested. Manchester United are floating about seeing if they can take advantage of this. João Felix from Benfica is another player that, to be honest, most of the Premier League clubs are interested in. 26 appearances, 15 goals, 7 assists. However, it looks like he is more likely to go to Atletico Madrid at the moment. At the time of recording this, it seems again they've stepped in front of every other club in the pursuit of him. Paulo Dybala, again another one, seemingly being linked with every Premier League club because of how he's been marginalised with Cristiano Ronaldo arriving at Juventus. 30 appearances, 5 goals, 4 assists, 7.08 average rating. He would be a very expensive signing, however, and he's not been linked with Manchester United since May. Then the final two, Richarlison and Moussa Dembele from Everton and Lyon respectively. I just don't see Richarlison moving this quickly from Everton. He already moved very quickly from one club at Watford. 35 appearances, 13 goals, 1 assist, 6.89 average rating. I think they'd have to pay a very big price for him as well. And the last time Man U were linked with Richarlison was on the 26th of April. And Moussa Dembele, 33 appearances, 15 goals, 4 assists, 6.95 average rating. I haven't heard this rumour since April either. However, I think he's a player they could potentially get. So Moussa Dembele could come back on the radar if they do fail to get some of these other options, which, to be honest, some of them seem a bit far-fetched. Aubameyang, Griezmann, Felix and Dybala, a lot of competition of very, very expensive players. So we'll see what happens in the forward category. Anyway guys, thank you so much for tuning into this episode. As always, if you have enjoyed it, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you're informed when my videos go live, as well as hitting that like button, and in the comments down below let me know who you think Man United need to sign to make the most of their 2019-20 season. With all that being said, I've been Jan O, this has been FPL Today, and remember, it's all about the game.